Hello, everyone. Welcome into the View House Centennial for yet another Victory Monday edition of Xfinity Monday Live. 8 straight. We're getting so spoiled, and we got a bye-week edition, so you know who we're going to bring in. Our favorite, Coach Mike Sanford, coming off a big win yourself. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But nothing like winning 8 straight in the National Football League. It doesn't happen often. This is so rare, and Broncos fans have to embrace it. And realize that this is not normal. And for the Broncos to do what they're doing, respond week in, week out to both success and adversity, it's really been fun to watch.
I absolutely love that. And we always start with Bo Nix. We got to talk about it. Bo Nix went from that Vegas game where, you know, he was having bouts of narcolepsy for most of the game to going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. So as a former quarterback, as a head coach, break this down for me. Break down Bo Nix for me.
Well, I just thought the synergy between both Sean Payton and Bo Nix, play caller and quarterback, it looked good. And you don't need great. You don't need elite right now. You just need really, really good, and you need rhythmic. And I thought Sean Payton did a really nice job in this particular game of playing more to the strengths of Bo Nix, and you could see that the calls that Bo Nix was getting from the sideline were things that he felt very comfortable with. And that's a real thing. I've coached the position for 20 years, and there's times where you as a play caller want to make it more about your own preferences. You got to sometimes make it about the preferences of the guys that are out there on the field, namely your quarterback. And I just saw that. We have never seen Bo Nix have 3 total stinkers in a row. And I knew after the Texans stinker and the Raiders stinker, he was going to respond because that's what he's done. And we have enough sample size to be able to project that.
Yeah, you know, earlier I was saying, say what you want about Bo Nix, but make sure you call him a winner because he's got the memory of a goldfish. He's got that ability, no matter what's going on, he still believes he can go out and win. That feels like something you just can't teach. What is that? What is the makeup that he's got?
Well, I think part of it comes from the fact that he's a coach's kid. He's a son of Patrick Nix, a great high school football coach, and a guy that coached in the collegiate ranks as well. And so he's got a great sounding board. I know this from being a coach's kid myself. As I reach out to my dad even now, you know, how do I deal with this situation? How do I approach this? He's got a great mentor in his father, and I think Bo really uses that. And as a result of that, I think he just stays very grounded. He doesn't let his highs get too high, ever. And certainly he doesn't allow his lows to get too low because he's responded over and over, and that's his superpower. His ability to respond both from game to game and then also within a game, series to series, has been what has made him different than every one of the quarterbacks here in Denver, not named Peyton Manning and John Elway.
Well, yeah, you like it when you're talking about him naming with those two.
Absolutely.
The Broncos, despite having won 8 straight, despite just having beaten the Chiefs, still have less favorable odds to win the Super Bowl than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Get out of here with that. Vegas, have fun. Steal everybody's money.
Why are people still perhaps overlooking this team?
I think it's, if you look at the advanced analytics of offensive production, maybe against the matchups of teams that they've played, even now beating the Kansas City Chiefs, it didn't help your record against teams with a winning record, because guess what? Chiefs don't have a winning record. They're a 500 outfit right now. You know, so I think it's just there's not the level of respect. But the bottom line is the Denver Broncos have beaten last year's representation from the AFC and the NFC in the dadgum Super Bowl. And these are teams that have been in the Super Bowl with frequency in the last decade, in the Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles. You've got to throw some respect and put respect on the name of the Broncos.
Which one of those wins do you think is more significant?
I thought the Eagles one was that was the Bo Nix moment where you say he can be the reason that this team wins in the fourth quarter against a really good team. That was a great indicator for me as I'm looking at quarterbacks. Can you perform in the clutch? And I saw it against the Philadelphia Eagles that he, being Bo Nix, could step up and play his best football when his team needed his best ball, and he delivered. That was a huge turning point, even for me. When he went through the bad times, Texans, Raiders, Jets, I was like, it doesn't really matter, because I've already seen what I needed to see, and that's fourth quarter Bo. And he leads the world right now in fourth quarter comeback victories at the quarterback position. It's really impressive.
Crazy. Are you a Bo Lever, Coach?
I don't love being branded anything. I'm really a fan of Bo and how he's playing right now for the Denver Broncos.
I like it.
Does that make me a Bo Lever?
Nobody puts Coach in the corner.
Nobody.
We're not going to pin you down here on Xfinity Monday Live. We're so thrilled to have you with us here on Xfinity Monday Live. Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live here at the View House Centennial. Our 8th straight Xfinity Monday Live, and a special edition because it's a bye week. So we got Coach Mike Sanford in the house with us. Mike, I want to talk about Riley Moss. Super accountable after the game. Some of these calls are fair, some of them aren't. He's getting a ton of targets as well. And he said he's got to wear boxing gloves. So look, as a coach, what are you trying to talk to with Riley about his game?
Well, I had a chance to coach against Riley Moss.
Yeah.
I was the offense coordinator at University of Minnesota. And unfortunately, just like a lot of NFL teams, I targeted in my play calling Riley Moss, and he picked us off twice.
Okay.
Riley Moss has elite ball skills. He's got fantastic ball skills. The difference was at the University of Iowa, predominantly zone coverage. Cover 4, quarters coverage, if you will, where he would be eyes on the quarterback and react and break on the football, as opposed to Vance Joseph's scheme, which is predominantly a man coverage scheme, or match cover 3, which is very similar to man coverage. There's a lot of times where he is defending the receiver as opposed to watching the quarterback and breaking on the football. He's just got to get, I would say, just trust his technique. Be a little bit more calm in the moment, because it looks like he panics. It's like he sees the and he just starts getting really handsy, really grabby. Trust your technique. He has great ball skills. And my little coaching point to Riley, if you're listening, I know Riley loves your programming.
Yeah, we know he's watching on his bye week.
Believe in how good your ball skills are. I've seen him, and just play the football. Don't play the man. Play the football, and he's going to end up getting a bunch of picks.
I love it. Play the football. There you go.
Sounds simple, but it's just a technique thing that I think you can very easily clean up.
I love that. We'll clip that. We'll post that. We'll tag it. I wanted to go back to something you talked about earlier, and that was the relationship with Bo and Sean.
Yeah.
And you said you saw it working really well. Even Tracy Wolfson was kind of reporting that during the game, Bo was asking Sean to get the calls in faster. We saw him kind of doing this. When you look at their relationship, do you feel like there's a disconnect, and how do they work through that?
Well, there can't be too big of a disconnect in reality.
Yeah.
That's completely unhealthy.
Yeah.
If they're 9-2.
Yeah.
And that is a reality. I've coached at high levels of college football where there were some personality conflicts, and it ended up being detrimental to the team winning football games if it's the head coach or coordinator and the quarterback. I don't think that's the case, but Broncos country doesn't need Sean Payton and Bo Nix to be in a complete bromantic relationship. They don't need a bromance.
Yeah.
You know what we need? We just need a solid, good, steady relationship. Yeah. And really right now, Broncos country just needs to see this offense be good.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be great. Doesn't need to be like off the charts. Just be good. Yeah. And if the relationship with Sean and Bo is good, I think that also we're going to see good offensive play like we saw last year. I think down the stretch with Bo and Sean, it looked good, didn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't like going to be top 3 in the National Football League statistically, but it was good.
Having played quarterback and being a head coach, what are some things when maybe you're not on the same page with your quarterback? What do you do to get that, and so that you guys are rolling on game day?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's just time. You know, it's no different than any of us trying to figure out how to get along better with our wives, right? It's quality time. You know, you got to spend time getting on the same page, talking through call sheets, and it does require extra effort. When you get so inundated with game planning as a play caller, as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach, like Sean Payton is, sometimes you don't have time because I got to get through this double wing right cut up. I got to get through trips. I got to get through. And so you almost have your days and weeks scheduled out that don't allow for the flexibility of maybe a 45-minute extra meeting with your quarterback, or, you know, two different segments throughout the course of a week. You got to create that time, because time ends up leading to belief and trust with one another. And I think that's something that they've tried to do and continually will try to do.
Well, at 9-2, I guess you could say it's working pretty well.
It's working all right.
Hey,
I'll tell you what, if my marriage yields 9-2, it's a good marriage.
All right, you know what?
Solid.
We'll have a discussion. We got the wifey here.
Wifey's here.
We're going to take a break. We're going to discuss this 9-2. We're going to send it back over to the station where we find our other favorite Mike, Michael Spencer. All right, Michael, thank you so much. Time now for the People Want to Know. People Want to Know brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. We get this question a lot with players, but you're a coach, so we'll have to ask it for you. Do you have any game day superstitions?
I always take a walk.
Okay.
I've done this for, I think, since I was a player at Boise State. I would just, when the bus drops you off, or you know it's time, I walk around the stadium, and I do a prayer walk. And so I walk around both sidelines, and sometimes I get some really weird looks from the opposing coaching staff, like, can you get off our sideline?
Around?
Yeah, in fact, the Erie head coach last week's like, hey, you spend a lot of time on our sideline. I'm like, man, I'm just, you know, so I just have a routine of just doing it. And it's not really superstition. It's just kind of I don't know. It's just it's a moment where I just kind of am able to get some time away, and I'm always talking, so it's a good time to just listen.
Just ground.
Yep.
I love it. Abs, that was great. All right, that was the People Want to Know. Brought to you by Common Spirit. We got to take a break. On the other side, we got to talk some high school football.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's here.
We'll be right back after
Playoffs.
this. Playoffs. Such a treat tonight to have head coach of the Valor Eagles, Mike Sanford here, and joining us in the midst of your own playoffs. And you just threw down a 70 burger, which is incredible. Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
As you look into the next quarters, we got quarters next, right?
Yeah, quarterfinals, and the games kind of start shifting to Saturdays, which is weird for me.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it, so today's almost like a strange bonus bye day, if you will.
I like it. You got a sophomore quarterback who's really flourishing. What are you loving about your team right now?
I just love coaching them. It's spending 20 years in college football, which was obviously the joy and the work of my life. The nature of college football shifting towards the NIL, the constant portal and players transferring. It just felt like you had to be more of a transactional type of a leader. I like the fact that there's real relationships that are rooted in things that really matter. And so I love coaching my players. They're a joy to coach, and they want to get better. And so watching our scrimmage tape against Legend, who we're going to be playing, Jake Heaps does an awesome job. Garrett Bowles is going to be coaching on the sidelines as well. He's over there at Legend. But watching our scrimmage from the beginning of the year and seeing where we're at now, it's really fun to watch the growth because you can really coach and see development at this age.
Oh, that's incredible. A lot of growth to throw down 70. By the way, good luck this weekend. We can't wait to hear what happens. Coach, thanks for joining us. Pleasure as always.
It was a blast.
Guys, you're the best.
Love being on.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with Coach Mike Sanford. Coach, extra special treat. We got you double. We don't have a blitz this week, so we had to get you on Monday Live.
This was really, I was going to have withdrawals, and I'm in a good vibe with all the wins that the Broncos are having, and I'm in my own playoff deal going on, so I had to be around some Romy Bean and my people here at CBS.
You're the recipe. You're the recipe for winning. You're winning at the high school. All right. Let's talk you before we get into the Broncos. What has been the most challenging part of high school ball for you?
Definitely the relationships with parents.
Yeah.
You know, so just to be really candid. But it's been a very big positive. I want players that I coach to be able to self-advocate, because if they go on to play in college football, mom and dad aren't going to have an open door policy with the head football coach. You know, I don't think Coach Prime's talking to his backup left guard and his parents. I don't think, you know, so you have to be able to learn how to advocate for yourself and say why you believe you should be playing. So we laid down a few boundaries, and for the most part, it's been pretty positive.
I absolutely love that. You got a big matchup coming up this weekend. What are you looking forward to in it?
Well, I'm looking forward to facing one of the most talented players, not just in the state, but I'm saying the country. DJ Bordeaux, the quarterback for Legend, is just decommitted today from Boston College. I think he wants to go even bigger than the ACC. So DJ Bordeaux is a great athlete. I was watching him in warm-ups when we scrimmaged him. He threw a pass and then just flat-footed backflip. Got another pass, and I'm like, he's a pretty good athlete. I like that guy.
That's not bad. You got a pretty good quarterback, too. Tell us about your sophomore.
Yeah, so Titus Heward, 6'5.5", 205, 210 pounds. Since he's taken over as a starting quarterback, he's been awesome. He just sees the field incredibly well. I think he throws it as well as anybody I've really been around at the college level. He's a 80% completion guy, and just continues to grow and get better. And the cool thing about it is you got 2 more years after this year with him as well.
That kind of continuity is rare. Good luck this weekend. From one quarterback to another, let's go to Bo Nix. 9-2, Bo Nix. What are you liking most about Bo Nix? And two-parter, what do you want to see him kind of grow down the stretch?
I like the fact that Bo Nix has just proven that he's a winner, that he is the perfect complementary piece to a franchise that has built this thing around a dominant defensive front. And a couple of the subpar performances where the feet seem overly active. After watching how he played yesterday against Kansas City, it's so fun to watch his growth week to week. And even sometimes if you have a slight bit of regression like he did against the Texans and Raiders, that he can hit the reset button and respond. That response mechanism has been on display throughout the year. Bo's gonna have some really good games on the stretch.
So much of this league is peaking at the right time. I think not necessarily for defense. This defense feels sustainable all year. Do you feel like the offense is perhaps moving in that direction where they could be peaking January, February at the right time?
I do, and there's a player that you and I both love, his personality, his intellect. Watching Marvin Mims Jr. come back in the special teams role that he's in, 3 returns, over 100 yards in the punt return game. looking forward to seeing his involvement increase again in the pass game.
Absolutely.
Because he is a dynamic playmaker. He's a guy that has great ball skills down the field. I want to see more and more Marvin Mims Jr.
Yeah.
I think that could help get this offense to become the explosive nature that I know it could come. Because Troy Franklin, he's an experience. He really is. I mean, he had 8 targets. 4 of them, you're as a Broncos fan, you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then the other 4 are dynamic, massive plays that end up changing the outcome of the game. I'd love to see a Marvin Mims Jr. in addition to Cortland Sutton and maybe an improved Evan Ingram, which we start to see. So, yeah, there's some signs that seem positive. Just want to see about the J.K. Dobbins news.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I hate to, a guy's been gone for a week and people always already kind of seem to move on. Run game was okay.
Just okay.
Without him, how do you think they fare? He could come back if they go to the Super Bowl, but that's it.
Is that the word on the street?
That is the latest word on the street.
Okay. I don't love that.
Yeah.
You felt the absence of J.K. Dobbins. So just like Dre Greenlaw, a defensive player that when a running back hits him, that running back doesn't push the pile. I think J.K. Dobbins is the running back that does the opposite of Dre Greenlaw, which is he gets that movement at the point of contact. I loved what I saw from Jaleel. Jaleel McLaughlin looked bigger. And the word on the street from Jaleel is just that dude just trains. Yeah. And he's got a massive chip on his shoulder. He's going to have a little bit more of, I think, of an imprint on this run game going forward than people would imagine right now.
I certainly hope so. Really pulling for him. He's first guy in. Gets there at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Did he look bigger to you than last year? He looked thicker. Like he looked like he knows that he's not built like J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
He's not as big, obviously, as even R.J. Harvey, but it looks like he's putting on some good weight.
Well, I certainly hope so. We're wishing for him for success.
Same.
He certainly deserves it. You look at the Broncos' rest of the schedule, and they're likely to be favored probably every game down the stretch. Are there any games that you think they could possibly trip up on? So you've got Washington, you've got Vegas, you got Green Bay, you got Jacksonville, you got KC, you got the Chargers.
It's the National Football League, so you can trip up any week. You've seen it. Broncos seemed like they were going to trip up against the Jets, seemed like they were going to trip up against the Giants, the Raiders. You just kind of name some of these teams that are sub 500, some close ball games. But the game to me that I wouldn't say I'm worried about tripping up on, but I think it's going to be a statement game, and frankly, I think it's going to be game, set, match if you win it in the AFC West. That's beating the Chargers. It's the one thing that Sean Payton has yet to do as a Broncos head coach is beat Jim Harbaugh since he's been as the head coach of the Chargers. Chargers seem like they might be going in the wrong direction. Lost yesterday 35-7 against the Jaguars. Jaguars may be an interesting matchup as well, but you got to beat the Chargers. You can't get swept by the Chargers and say, yeah, we're AFC West champs.
Right.
That to me is going to be a critical game.
I want to take a left turn, actually. Shedeur Sanders expected to actually get his first career start. Shedor's like set the world on fire. People are here on him. How do you think he fares in his first game?
Like, I love Shedeur as a player. Yep. I think Shedeur had so much, if not maybe the most, to do with the success, overnight success of the CU football program. It's a nice thing as a head coach when you can bring your own son and come in and just completely transform the offense by way of playmaking, vision down the field. Shedeur had a rough debut. He did. It wasn't good. I think he responds. I think he gets an opportunity to show. He's got to get the sack numbers down, and he's just got to be the dog that we all know that he is and can be. But he's got to show it, and it'll be great for him to get a week of practice.
Yeah.
Hadn't got a lot of practice reps there in Cleveland, apparently.
Yeah. I know, right? With some first-team reps.
Yeah, it's like first time he's practiced.
Nice. All right, I kept you way more than a few extra minutes, so we appreciate it, Coach, so much. Again, good luck this weekend. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Romy.
Guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.